drops, people are looking at it to say, you still dissing? Also, people are wondering if anything that Kendrick does, whether intended or not, they're gonna give the credit as he's taking a sneak diss. So again, I kind of agree with that, but game 2 got nothing to do with trying to battle a nigga again, bro. Come on, bro. Like, bro, y'all gotta at least use your brain a little bit, bro. Bro, just think like you're Drake. Why would you want to battle a nigga again? Why? What do you think would change? So if and I know what you're saying in your mind right now. So if you're saying that, why the fuck would Drake want to do it? Unless you think he's fucking stupid. Now, granted, I will say this. I'll say this. Man. Kendrick and his team. And by the way, a Super Bowl performance or Super Bowl headline and performance slot doesn't come because a couple niggas finesse some streams or, paid a couple blogs. This is big dog shit. And what it's told, or not what's told, but what's understood by me definitely is that Kendrick got a hell of a team, or has built a hell of a team around him. And he's moving very strategic. I've gotten some of the biggest music managers in the world that hit me today. And even one that even said, yo, Ak, I ain't gonna lie, that nigga's team is working. They even said to me, bro, they're inspiring me to step my shit up. They're doing big plays for this nigga that is kind of just like out of this world. Like, I think arguably, obviously it doesn't seem like, and I think, if we're going to think about music-wise, and we'll probably get to that a little bit later, music-wise, it would make sense if he drops his album around that time, right? Maybe drop a single before or some type of announcement, perform maybe one or two new songs at the Super Bowl, then drop after the Super Bowl maybe a week later. But yeah, the way how Kendrick's moving in terms of his team, I do think it's top tier. As I said, I've spoken to some of the biggest music managers of artists that we all love, and they were saying, fuck, this nigga's doing it. Now, again, even though this shouldn't be a thing that we just instantly start thinking about, oh, Drake or whatever, again, we're in the post-battle syndrome where everything Kendrick does makes Drake look away, and anything Drake does makes Kendrick look away. So they're kind of like binded to each other for the foreseeable future. Well, when the conversation, and I had it with a couple of other people, again, I'm talking to like industry, like really important people in the industry, a couple of executives, a couple label owners, black label owners too. And what they said to me, they said, what Kendrick has been winning against Drake with in the last 4 to 5 months is that the way how Drake moves is pretty minimalistic, and he just heavily relies on how much he's consumed because he is the biggest artist. Right? So he's not the guy that's doing all these plays. Kendrick, everything he's done has been a well-orchestrated play that him and a carefully selected team, including agencies, and when I mean agencies, like, obviously, when you're thinking about this, I don't know who he's rep by, whether it's WME, CAA, or UTA, or whatever, like, all these things factor into it. But all these things are aligning for Kendrick, and they're like, it's very clear that when you look at Drake, you don't see a team. When you look at everything Kendrick's doing, even though he's the face of it, this is all the byproduct. Of course, he put out music that worked, but it's the byproduct of a team that's fucking hitting. That's a team that's making sure shit's happening. You get what I'm saying? And I do gotta say, that's kind of accurate. That's kind of accurate. Okay. Now, I get it, and I get it. I get it. I think, it's fair if you guys say accurate capping, or you're trying to cope, or you're trying to spin this game 2 thing, right? To be honest, it don't even make sense how I even saying it. Y'all be like, yo, you're lying. I was wondering why Drake was trolling like this. I was like, yo, why is he trolling like he's trying to rap back with this nigga, man? But again, it has a meaning, right? Anyway, whatever. So if you want to believe that, okay, he's trying to rap battle again, cool. It's fine. You can just say Ak is doing whatever, and you can say that's fine. Regardless, it's clearly not gonna happen, right? Like, I think Kendrick officially shuts it down, right? Like, it's just not gonna happen. Even though I'm telling you, Drake didn't want to do it anyway. But cool, it's not gonna happen. And that moment was that moment, and we now have to analyze everything else. So, going forward, or let's actually go back a step. Kendrick Lamar getting the nod as the Super Bowl halftime performer, the headliner. Is this the right move? Now, we got to think about it on 2 senses. Well, actually, three levels. From a culture perspective, is it the right move? From a business perspective, is it the right move? And also, regionally, is it the right move? Because if you don't know, the Super Bowl is kind of like the Olympics. Like, it usually goes to different cities every year. And with that, they usually try to make an impact, not only with the, what surrounds the game, but also even with the halftime show. And I think this is where Jay-Z enters the pot, because today, we had a lot of people who issued, kind of showed their dismay that they were disappointed. That, and from what I've been told, it was being heavily talked about that Wayne was going to probably get the nod. Okay? That was the thing. However, and I don't know the timeline of this, to be honest, clearly Kendrick did. One of the main people who spoke about this was, and by the way, I actually spoke directly with him today. Let me see. Was my man Fabian Marciulo, who used to be Wayne's engineer, and after I posted up that he was Wayne's engineer, he actually reached out to me. We talked a bit, and he says, I am not Wayne's engineer. I am Wayne's manager. So this is Lil Wayne's manager who expressed some disappointment that Wayne did not get the headlining gig at Super Bowl 2025. This is what he posted to his story. He says, confused, disappointed, angry, most of all, inspired. Will never again be in a position or have the GOAT in a position where we are at the mercy of someone else's decision. We will make the decision. Okay? And, I'm trying to do my best in trying to figure out the process of how these artists kind of either pitch themselves, or what's the process of, the selection process for this. Because, like, if we're comparing it to the Olympics, when the Olympics is going to pick a place to go, kind of just like the Super Bowl, oh, are we going to go to New York versus, Dallas? Like, these cities kind of make a pitch to the NFL or for the Olympics, like Tokyo would make a pitch to the Olympics saying, hey, we're going to develop A, B, C, D, and E to, blah, blah. And obviously bringing an event like the Olympics to a city is going to greatly like change, the fortunes and the economy of that place. But same with the Super Bowl. So if they do that for the places where that's going, what the Super Bowl does for an artist is also just out of this world. I could imagine that the artists themselves probably have to pitch themselves, or maybe not the artists themselves, but maybe the management, maybe the agency that reps the artist, they got to pitch the artist to the NFL or to the committee, which I think then we get to the point of NFL Jay-Z Super Bowl halftime show. Okay. Now, in 2020, one thing I got to say about Jay, man. Hold on. What the fuck? One thing we got to say about Jay, when Jay rapped, I'm not a businessman, I'm a business man. He was definitely right. I think if I remember the story correctly, Jay-Z essentially crossed the picket line or whatever. He basically, when Colin Kaepernick was, here we go. When Colin Kaepernick was like, yo, we're not fucking with the NFL. They're racist because they won't let me play. Fuck the NFL. Let's kneel, right? Jay-Z came in and said, enough of that kneeling bullshit. I'm fucking with the NFL, and I just did a deal with them. We past kneeling now, nigga, okay? That was, like, super interesting. Matter of fact, let me see. Jay-Z, Colin Kaepernick. Here we go. I don't know if y'all remember this. Where is it at? It was a whole drama because Colin Kaepernick felt like he got. Oh, here we go.
The entertainment mogul, Jay-Z various assets, including cash investments and stake in companies like Just Being Broke is Childish, and I'm Quite Grown. Right. Jay-Z is known to shape his personal brand around lucrative business deals that look commonplace to the average man, but are carefully calculated and designed to promote him to the mass audience, filling his pockets and furthering his position as the 1% of the 1%. As one of only 13 black billionaires, Jay-Z is complicit in a capitalist society that relies on most people being impoverished while a select few are wealthy. Under capitalism, black people are systematically marginalized and exploited.
Let's not get too much into that. Let's just get to how he snaked that nigga, man.
Us to wonder how Jay-Z saves, but also...
Hey, I gotta be honest with you. Jay-Z my favorite snake in the game. I ain't gonna hold you. He like, I don't think he's like a cobra. He's like one of them big-headed rattlesnakes. Like Snake Dame, got him out of there. Who else he snake? Snake a couple of times, got him out of there. Feel me? Like Jay's a nigga, when it come down to the money or a friendship, trust me, the money's always in the pocket. I kind of fuck with him for it because he's always kind of exhibited and told us that he's a capitalist. Like, yo, I'm for the money. You know what I mean?
So destroys. During the initial stages of the Black Lives Matter organization, some rappers were criticized for not using their platform to cause awareness. Once a hashtag and now a political movement, Black Lives Matter was fueled by the fatal shooting of an unarmed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin in 2013. Although later he would go on to donate $1.5 million to the Trayvon Martin Foundation and other charities, at that time Jay-Z was among those who were silent. It was also revealed by filmmaker Dream Hampton, who co-wrote Jay's memoir, Decoded, that the Carters gave tens of thousands of dollars to free protesters who could not pay their bail following anti-police brutality demonstrations fueled by the 2014 fatal shooting of Mike Brown by the police in Ferguson. In since deleted tweets, Hampton claimed the couple insisted their donations be kept quiet. But as Black Lives Matter's game...
Okay, I don't want to bore you out to death. Here's the point, man. Jay-Z, we've always seen, number one of the greatest rappers of all time, hip hop. Jay-Z's cashed out on cultural currency a shit ton of times for the dollar and to put himself in position. Whether it's to squeeze and weasel his way to get a part ownership of the Nets. By the way, we're gonna have to also get into Jay being a petty nigga. And when we talk about game twos, I think that's why Drake be talking that game. I think Drake be trying to do what Jay-Z did. Jay-Z got his ass whipped by Nas and then signs Nas. That was the game two right there for Jay. You get what I'm saying? Jay always gets the last laugh with everybody he gets into it with. And by the way, I think this is also him getting back at Wayne. Remember him and Wayne got into it a couple years back. This was, for me, this was a two birds, one stone situation for Jay-Z. Drake, he been trying to get at. He gets to get Drake and his boss, or former boss, Wayne, two birds, one fucking stone. And he repaid it in blood. Did it with Kendrick Lamar. Did it in Lil Wayne's hometown. If you don't know why this whole Lil Wayne angle is there, this year the Super Bowl's in New Orleans. Next 2 years it's on the West Coast. You get what I'm saying? So that's one of the things. Now, if we go back to this whole thing with Jay-Z doing this deal, essentially, Colin Kaepernick felt like the NFL and other institutions, were not speaking up enough, and also he wanted to use his platform, which even though he was a quarterback, he wanted to use his platform to show solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement. He started kneeling. Essentially, he convinced a bunch of other players to kneel. What happened in the NFL is that it caused advertisers who basically were caught. Sports is supposed to be non-political. They always say this thing about Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan has a lot of similarities like Jay-Z. Like, their moral is the Benjamin Franklin more than anything else. Historically and most famously, people know Michael Jordan for allegedly saying, yo, Democrats and Republicans buy sneakers too. So he wouldn't endorse a candidate. Like, why endorse a candidate when you endorse one, the people who support the other might not buy your sneakers? And he was selling sneakers, right? Jay-Z came in and this is what was happening to the NFL. So the players and the recognizable players, the stars, start to kneel. It became an eyesore for some of the people who, again, the majority of the people who are spending billions of dollars enriching these NFL owners and paying for these contracts of these players, they're white. They didn't give a fuck about on a Sunday when they bust open a Budweiser or a motherfucking Happy Dad. They didn't want to see a bunch of Negroes making political statements, talking about we gonna be all right, fist in the air, kneel on the ground. They was like, we don't want to see this bullshit, bro. Shut the fuck up, put your helmet on, nigga, go get some CTE, throw the ball, run the ball, catch the ball, kick the ball, shut the fuck up. So essentially, the audience, especially the non-black audience, and here's like an interesting thing, is that while black people control so much of the popular sports in America, the consumers who pay for these sports are usually 60 to 70% not looking like the players. Like basketball, they say that the fans who spend the most is usually the phenotype of the fan who spends the most for every NBA team is a 44-year-old white male. So think about it. They're trying to attract more 44-year-old white men in the NBA, right? Same with the NFL. Yo, the people who spending the most look like this. Now, when those people who look like that go watch the game, they don't want to see a nigga with an afro thinking he Don King on his fucking knee. So they try to get the players to cut the kneeling. The players was like, we ain't finna cut the kneeling. Now, what later happened is that The advertisers, who, by the way, all of these leagues and especially these TV contracts, all they're all like supported by what deals you have with Pepsi, you have with Coca-Cola, Sprite, Papa John's. Some of these companies says, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you, because a lot of these other companies also have political ties. They're in lobbyist groups going for this, that, and third, this, that, and third. So now they're like, yo, we're not gonna be spending advertising dollars on what should be a sporting event that is non-political, that is nonpartisan, if y'all athletes keep making political statements. So you had companies threaten to stop spending money with the NFL. The NFL is panicking. They need to figure out a way to solve this. Colin Kaepernick got the line drawn in the sand. Like, he's on his, he think he on his Malcolm X type of wave. Now, while being very desperate for a solution, Roger Goodell finds Jay-Z, who basically comes in with the big lips, shucking and jiving, and basically saying, yo, fuck Colin Kaepernick. I'm way more popular with the Negroes. I'll tell him to stop that bullshit. All you got to do is give me a big-ass position in the NFL. Now, this is why Jay-Z is accused of always being a capitalist over someone who cares about his community and who cares about his people. Because, should I remind y'all that before this happened, Jay-Z, Roc Nation, Roc Nation has a sports team. He owns Roc Nation. And he was trying to be an agent. Roc Nation Sports Agency, NFL. Let's look at some articles. It would have to be from, like, basically the NFL was giving him a hard time about him trying to be like an agency, because also they also manage people. I probably can't find an article, but you just got to trust me on this one. Well, let me see if I can find. I like having sources. NFL agency NFL Jay-Z 2018, probably like 2018 or something. Here we go. Okay, cool. I think this is, look. Okay. Here we go. I gotta go to Roc Nation. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, I probably got to go before that. Okay. You got to take. Let me see if I can find it. They were getting a lot of pushback on them being pretty much an agent to certain players. Again, Jay-Z is trying to develop Roc Nation, which has a, by the way, the same thing Roc Nation tried to do to the NFL is the same thing they tried to do in music. They try to break in the industry, and then when the industry that's already established says, no, y'all are doing it wrong, and y'all are doing things that are fucking shit up, Jay-Z finds a way to make a bigger deal that ingratiates his company, Roc Nation, with the company that was giving him problems in the get-go, and he snakes another nigga in the middle of it. That's kind of really what it's always been. Same thing with music. The reason why Bobby Shmurda's career is where it's at, when Bobby was on Epic, Epic ain't do shit for him, so I ain't gonna pick up for Epic. But right when Bobby gets out and he's supposed to be on fire, remember Bobby gets out and he has a Roc Nation hat on and he's up there at Roc Nation? Epic looks at it and says, "Oh, you're about to go sign at Rock Nation." They stopped giving a fuck about Bobby. Rock Nation wasn't successful to get Bobby off of Epic, so Bobby's career just stalls out, and then they drop Bobby. Nobody signs Bobby since. Why Rock Nation didn't pick Bobby up now? You know why? They're looking at him like, "Oh, you cold now? I'm good." They wanted Bobby right as he got out of prison because he was hot. Epic realized that and said, "Wait, y'all trying to snake us out of our own artists? You crazy as hell." They stopped spending money and said, "All right." Bobby gets cold. Rock Nation never spins back for Bobby. That's a fact. They tried to do it to Meg Thee Stallion with 1501. You see, in music, they started doing they've always wanted to be a label, right? But then they started the management arm because most of the talent, they never developed talent. They always wanted talent in fucked up situations. They tried to do it with Uzi. They tried to steal Uzi, Meg Thee Stallion, Bobby Shmurda. That's Rock Nation's like mantra. Like they're artist thieves. They've never found an artist. They don't find shit. Maybe J. Cole back in the day, but it was J. Cole even on Rock? Whatever. Anyway, they don't find artists. They steal artists. You get what I'm saying? It's the same thing. That same type of sleazy behavior they tried to do in the sports world. But in the sports world, there's mad rules. You can't do nothing. And you need licenses. So they got fucked up. And they couldn't really do the Rock Nation sports how they needed to do it. So then they waited to the right moment when Roger Goodell needs a bailout. Jay-Z runs back in, makes a partnership, and snakes that motherfucker Colin Kaepernick. And by the way, we can't feel bad for Colin Kaepernick because that nigga, we realized he couldn't say a sentence in English language without reading from a paper. All this nigga was good at doing was picking his hair, wearing Beats headphone, and being on one knee doing this. Worst leader in the history of leaders ever. Like, the nigga couldn't even say a speech to galvanize the troops, okay? You have all black people watching you every week. Get on your knee and do this. Nigga, can't you speak for 5 minutes to get us excited? Like, bro, you were in an NFL locker room. You galvanize the 52 niggas that's running out there with you. You can't say one thing to make black people be like, nah, we're behind him. Either Colin or nobody. Nigga, he couldn't talk to people to save his life, nigga. Jay-Z came in, started licking them big fat lips. Stop like, like, you know, doing all that dumb shit. And as soon as he did that, take that, yo, shit was over, man. Shit was over, bro. Shit was over, my nigga. Shit was over. Let's go back again to Jay-Z snaking a couple niggas. Jay-Z did the same thing with Tidal. Jay-Z had a whole B-side concert where he shamed artists for not signing. By the way, that's where his and Drake beef starts. Drake was supposed to be one of the artists that was fucking with Tidal. Drake says no, goes get 40 million from Apple, because Apple say, yo, Drake, come get this 40 M's. Jay-Z says, yo, come get this 1%. I think it was like 1.2% that he gave every artist. Rihanna, Beyonce, Kanye. Drake was supposed to be there. Drake looks at that. Drake is Jewish, my nigga. Come on, that yarmulke working right. He said, Apple, what's popping, nigga? What's popping? Jay-Z hates that nigga now. You feel what I'm saying? Jay-Z hate the fuck out of that nigga. That's what happened. From then on, Jay-Z said, I'm gonna snake that bitch ass nigga. I'm gonna snake that nigga right there. It's like that moment in Belly. You ever seen that moment in Belly? I'm gonna drop a dime on that nigga right there. Yeah, that's what Jay-Z said then. Belly, drop a dime. Facts. Nigga, I'm telling y'all factual stories. Look.
Meanwhile, trouble was right there on that corner.
Yeah.
Staring right at us. Yeah, they rolling hard.
That's Jay-Z right here, the big lips.
Playing real good, real good.
I don't like that shit. That's Jay-Z when he seen Drake go with Apple Music.
Might have to drop a dime on them niggas.
I have to drop a dime on that nigga. You feel me? Now, By the way, when Drake went with Apple Music, shout to Larry Jackson, because Larry Jackson plays a part in all this. Drake goes over there, gets a radio show, and he starts to do exclusivity shit. Yo, my album coming out a week only on Apple. He took the bread. That's what it was. Jay's tight. Remember they had the whole Avengers meeting? Y'all remember this? Tidal artists table. They're on like some like fucking round table. This bullshit right here.
I just stole the course.
Look,
Every great.
they got these motherfuckers looking like space aliens in this bitch. Two niggas. Look,
Music be the
let me tell you this, man. This is when I realized that boy really a hustler. Yo, Jay got a line. He said, I could sell water to a whale, nigga. And I believe that nigga Jay-Z because he's a fucking capitalist. He's an amazing businessman. It's a reason why, remember Kanye for like 2 seconds like, I'm richer than you? Nah, Jay the richest nigga, clearly. Jay is slick. Jay conned all of these niggas in this room. Jay is good.
foundation. I think it's one of the things
Look,
that
Usher here. You know what I mean? The herpes burning through his pants.
sets us aside from someone that's a tech company
Yeah, Kanye over here thinking about, like, right now, he, like, planning the motherfucking lambskin condom he gonna put his second wife in. He was with Kim back then.
that's selling advertisement or selling hardware. Right now, they're writing a story for us. We need to write
Even Beyonce looking at him like, nigga, you know I went through your phone and seen that Becky bitch, right? I'm gonna fuck you up, nigga.
the story for ourselves.
This is how I know Jay a cheater. Like, this nigga will gaslight a whole room of smart artists. You imagine what he doing to his wife. Come on, bro.
The fans can see that it's
Yeah, everybody was yeah, okay, we're down with it. Drake ain't here, nigga. Drake was thumbing through 40 million. Drake was trying to buy the jumbo jet or at least buy the gas for it. You know what I mean? I know you ain't buy the jet. So that's really what it is. You feel what I'm saying? Let me tell you how Jay slimed him out. Because Jay, there's actually another press conference too, right here. This one, right here. You see J. Cole, he just be anywhere. Like, you get this nigga a free bicycle and a helmet, nigga, he'll be there, nigga. That's all. This nigga don't want nothing. You feel me? You get Dead Mouse. Yeah, these niggas right here, aliens, whoever the fuck they are. Yeah. Now, is that Alicia Keys? Now, let me tell you this. This was when he had all of them signing their ownership stake. Not one of them owned more than 1%. Slimed them out again, man. Jay-Z owned the majority stock, but act like, yo, we all own this shit. Everybody was signing on for 1%. Okay? Now, here's the thing. This is some real shit. Jay pulled the classic scammer move. And I got to equate it to some newer shit. Jay did what these niggas do when they be like, yo, Dogecoin to the moon. He's like, yo, let's buy and hold. You feel me? Jay-Z told everybody this streaming platform is for the artists, by the artists. Basically said that this was going to be a artist-built platform. Do y'all know as soon as that shit got worth 5 times what he bought it for, that nigga sold it to a white man and got the fuck out of there. Deuces. Again, yo, tell everybody to get on board because this is for artists. We won't sell to the white man, the man, fuck the man. Yeah, all right. Classic Jay-Z snake. Jay-Z sold the shit. Jay-Z sells Tidal. Look, now, here's the thing. Jay-Z, shout out to Cameron, them open-toe chancletas with jeans on. You can't even clown Jay for that no more because he's met mad business partners because of it. If you ever seen, I can't put up the paparazzi pictures because they're going to try to sue me. Every time you see Jay-Z with chancletas with jeans on, that nigga's in the Hamptons and he's always walking somewhere with some ugly-looking bodyguard behind him, and he's always walking with a white man, and the white man you're going to notice is a nigga named Jack Dorsey. So he formulated a friendship with Jack Dorsey, who owned Square. Square owns Cash App. Okay? Square owns Cash App. Okay? Jack Dorsey was the CEO and I believe one of the co-founders of Twitter. Okay? Jay-Z becomes friends with him and Jay-Z convinces him to buy out Tidal. So basically, Square buys out Tidal. Jay becomes a board member on Square's board of directors, and Tidal is no longer black owned. It's owned by the man. Remember, it was for the artist, by the artist. Snaked him. Now it's owned by the man. Okay? Typical. That's why I be trying to tell y'all. Michael Rubin only hugging and belly rubbing Lil Baby and Meek Mill. When he around a true snake like Jay, all you see is respect, because they talk the same type of slithering language. You feel me? You can't play with Jay-Z. Jay-Z the same type of snake you are. You just look like a colonizer. You never see no weird shit with Jay-Z and these niggas. You feel what I'm saying? Because Jay-Z's just like them. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, Jay-Z convinces the whole culture. He did a whole rap. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just posted on my Instagram. He did a B-side concert. I ain't gonna lie. The nigga had me sold, nigga. Nigga, I think I downloaded Tidal for a good 6 months after this. Jay-Z B-side concert freestyle. He did a freestyle saying, if you black, why are you over here supporting Spotify and Apple Music when you should support a black-owned business? Tidal. Then the nigga sold it to the white man. Y'all ain't gonna lie, Jay-Z, you good, brother. I love Jay-Z, man. Yo, Jay-Z is the best at finessing dumb niggas.
Don't ever go with the flow. Be the flow. And I don't need no middleman to talk to my niggas. I understand if you don't understand, I figure I'm Jigga. That's where we differ. I take what's mine, you accept what they give you, I get you.
Oh, we ain't even get to Duce yet. He said, why y'all niggas drinking Hennessy? Fuck Hennessy, get Duce. Nigga sold that shit to Bacardi, man. Yo, Jay-Z will convince you that y'all need to support black product to get him to the valuation that he could sell that shit to the white man. I ain't gonna lie, Jay's good, bro. Jay's good. That's like me saying, yo, I'm selling crowns. These are black-owned crowns. Y'all gotta support this instead of buying the white-owned crowns. Y'all all be like, yeah, that's kind of true. Like, if we're gonna buy crowns, let's buy the black-owned crown that's owned by AK. I wait till all y'all motherfuckers buy it, and then I sell the whole product to the white man for a bigger price, and then I'll be like, all right, next thing. Nah, Jay's good, man. W capitalist, right?
I don't take no checks, I take my respect.
Cap.
Pharrell even told me go with the safest bet. Jimmy Iovine offered the safety net. Google dangle around a crazy check. I feel like YouTube is the biggest culprit. The niggas pay you a tenth of what you're supposed to get. You know niggas die for equal pay, right? You know when I work, I ain't your slave, right?
The nigga who had me signing. Yo, when I was watching this freestyle, nigga, I feel like it was a Martin Luther King speech in freestyle format, nigga. Tears are flowing down my eyes. I'm on Tidal.com signing up. I'm reading out my credit card. I gotta support black business. They're treating him like the new slave. Snaked him. Go ahead, Jay. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even mad at you, nigga.
You know I ain't shucking and jiving and high-fiving. You know this ain't back in the days, right? Well, I can't tell how the way they killed Freddie Gray, right? Shot down my...
The nigga was trying to convince us to download Tidal and brought up the fact that they killed Freddie Gray. They killed Mike Brown. And I'm like, yo, they did. They did. I gotta support Tidal. Yo, I'm downloading Tidal. Yo, this is black owned. Nigga, you know what's so crazy? Jay-Z at the Tidal office. Y'all ever seen this? Look at this, people. Y'all gotta look at this. Look at this. Black owned, people. Oh my sweet Jesus. Oh my God. The whole time this nigga is saying that if you don't like them killing black people, the nigga went to the headquarters, took a picture. You got Beyonce throwing up Illuminati signals, symbol over here. You see Hove in here and not one black face to be seen. Jay, you are good. I ain't gonna lie, man. Somebody do a 23andMe on Jay-Z. That nigga is Nigerian. That nigga's on some hush puppy shit. I ain't gonna hold you. That's my boy. Nah, Jay-Z, Jay-Z. If Jay-Z was a broke nigga, he would have been the biggest PPP scammer. That's a fact. This nigga did a whole freestyle saying, the man who's killing us. Support Tidal. The nigga took a picture of Tidal headquarters, not one black person in sight. I couldn't believe this.
Mike Brown, how they did Trey, right? Let him continue choking niggas. We gonna turn style. I ain't your token nigga.
Yeah, he was pulling on my heartstrings. Pause. It's like, yes. Stand up to them, black man. Yes.
You know I came in this game independent, right? Tidal, my own label, same difference. Oh, niggas are skeptical when it's their own shit. You bought 9 iPhones and Steve Jobs was rich.
That's when we should have realized, man. He basically just saying, if y'all made Steve Jobs rich, why can't y'all make me like that? What's up?
Phil Knight's worth trillions. You still bought those kicks. Spotify's $9 billion. They ain't say shit.
Now, I know some people gonna be like, yo, Act, so what's the problem with him saying some of this stuff? Ain't no fucking problem. I just always thought it was snakish when he uses, yo, if I tell you to buy a product because all the proceeds is going to stop police brutality, right? And now you're like, oh shit, I gotta buy this to stop police brutality. And really, I was just capping. I was just trying to get you to buy this shit to get the sales up to sell it to the white man. Bro, you're just finessing, bro. Like you're like, this is capitalism. There's nothing wrong with trying to get more sales or more subscribers for your product, but don't use the fact that black people are dying and don't try to use like cultural type of talking points. That's what I was saying. But in finesser land, I mean, he's a good finesser, and I got to give him his credit. You feel me? He got my ass. Pause.
Lucy, you got some explaining to do. The only one they hating on look the same as you. That's cool. I know they trying to bamboozle you. Spending millions on me, they trying to confuse you. I had to talk to myself. Hope you used to. It's politics as usual. You know how we feel.
There we go. There we go, man. There we go. We could go down to the Duce line where he was like, yo, all y'all niggas who like Hennessy, you know I love Hennessy. It's like, why y'all drinking Hennessy? Hennessy don't fuck with the culture like that. Drink Duce. I own it. Nigga, I started buying Duce. All of a sudden, I look up, Jay-Z sells Duce to Bacardi. Jay-Z sells his controlling stake to Duce to Bacardi. I'm like, damn, this fucker did it again. By the way, again, great business plays. And even though he's finessing, I can't even be mad at him, bro. I can't be mad at him. Anyway, let's get back to this. We're back to this NFL deal. Here we go.
Gained worldwide recognition, Jay-Z became more publicly connected to the cause. With the release of his song Spiritual, after the deaths of Alton Sterling and Philando Castile at the hands of the police, the mogul made a public stance on police brutality. He released a statement with the song stating, "I made this song a while ago. I never got to finish it. Punch TDE told me I should drop it when Mike Brown died. Sadly, I told him this issue will always be relevant. I'm hurt that I knew his death wouldn't be the last. I'm saddened and disappointed in this America. We should be further along. We are not. I trust God and know that everything that happens is for our greatest good. But man, it's tough right now. Blessings to all the families that have lost loved ones to police brutality." 2016 was also the year that former 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick infamously kneeled for the first time during the national anthem at a game in San Diego. Also inspired by the work of the Black Lives Matter organizers, Kaepernick chose to kneel in protest of racial inequality and police brutality that continue to plague our nation. Although he was met with criticism by those who felt it was disrespectful to our nation, to the flag, and our troops, he maintained that kneeling was a respectful gesture of protest. He said, I'm not protesting the anthem or the nation. I'm protesting organized brutality. To me, this is much bigger than football, and it would be selfish to look the other way. There are bodies in the street and people getting paid to leave and getting away with murder. He also stated, I am not going to get up to show pride in a country that oppresses black people and people of color. Colin garnered the support of other football players, fans, and entertainers across the nation, including Jay-Z. Even after no other NFL teams would sign him, once he left the 49ers and became a free agent, presumably because of his actions of taking a knee. Yet Jay-Z sported a custom Colin Kaepernick jersey during the 2017 Saturday Night Live.
Snaked him, wore his jersey, then kicked his back in. That's a Brooklyn nigga for you.
Appearance. That same year, he dedicated a New York performance of his song, The Story of OJ, to Kaepernick. And during the 2018 CNN interview, he called Kaepernick an iconic figure, adding that players focus on civil rights issues, compared him to the likes of civil rights icon, famed boxer Muhammad Ali. Those are huge compliments coming from the biggest rapper in the world and fellow activist, which made Jay-Z's next move all the more iconic. In 2019, Jay-Z's Roc Nation partnered with the National Football League to enhance the league's live game experiences and, more importantly, to amplify the league's social injustice efforts.
Okay. Let me let y'all see that little announcement. Jay-Z, Roger Goodell. This is when they announced the partnership. Listen to this fuckery.
Interesting sighting here. Jay-Z and Roger Goodell together in New York announcing a new partnership between the NFL and Jay-Z's.
Yo, Colin Kaepernick was still on one knee, nigga, with his eyes closed, and somebody tapped him on the shoulder, be like, nigga, look at the news. Jay said, fuck that, we tired of kneeling. He said, what? Ain't no way, nah. That's CGI, like that nigga just wore my jersey on. No. Jay-Z over there chilling with your op.
Roc Nation. It's an entertainment company that the league has tapped to be their official live music entertainment strategist, which means we'll see their fingerprint on big events like the Super Bowl, but also on the league's Inspire Change initiative, which was...
This one I knew Jay-Z good. Jay-Z got a line that says, I'm going to show you how to move in a room full of vultures. When I see how Jay-Z know how to talk in a room full of these little, you know what I mean, these Caucasoids, I'm like, yes, Jay's that guy. This is why Michael Rubin can't do no gay shit with him. Michael Rubin can't tap his balls, can't grab his ass cheek, none of that shit. Could do it to Meek and shit like that, but you can't do it to Jay. Jay know how to move in a room full of vultures.
Was a key component to the deal for both sides.
We always think we should partner with the best. That's why we're sitting here. We're partnering with the best. And so his perspective is going to drive us. I'm not going to sit here and talk to him about entertainers. He knows that business. What we have to do is figure out how do we support that and how do we make sure that we bring that to another level.
The NFL platform for us, what was exciting for us, Inspire Change was already happening, and the NFL has a huge platform. And we can use that huge platform we've seen it happen. Like when J.J. Watts, came the aid to everybody in Houston, the whole world forgot about all the turmoil they had with the NFL. That's a great thing. That's a fantastic thing. And if you can use that platform to do that in different areas, then it's a home run. That's the success. I think someone asked me what I would view success. That's the success.
Jay's a great speaker too. He's entertaining the whole room. He's talking that good shit. My boy Jigga, man. Yo, Dame, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. Jay knew he no longer needed you because when he knew that your biggest skill, or not, let me not say it because I might be just, downplaying Dame. But Dame was someone who's a talker. Jay was supposedly the rapper, and he was supposedly a little bit shy at first, especially in business situations. But once Jay became the person who could hold down that but hold down those meetings with those white people who was talking about whatever, he ain't need that nigga Dame Dash no more. Dame Dash was doing too much, hula hooping and back flipping. And once Jay could do this, he had no room for a nigga who was like saying pause after every 3 seconds.
Me.
I don't think either one of us expected that this relationship wouldn't have its critics. I think we're both I'm more used to critics than he is.
This is the moment he knew. I'm snaking a couple niggas.
Might be 50-50 there.
but we knew that. But you know what the.
Anyway, the noteworthy part about this was when he said, "We're beyond kneeling." Okay.
Kneeling, what you said.
I guess so. It was a Q&A, and they said, "Would you kneel or would you stand?" They're basically asking him, "Bro, you doing this deal, but what do you think about Colin Kaepernick? He's kneeling. Would you kneel or would you stand?" You know what I mean? Keep in mind, he can't say he would kneel because the reason why Roger Goodell got him is to get these fucking players off their fucking knees. Watch what he says.
Okay, I think we passed kneeling. Yeah, I think it's time to.
Snaked him, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. I've studied all these snake tactics by Jay-Z. I don't think I could snake a friend, but I might have to snake a nigga I don't really know like that. Because Jay has gotten so many billions by snaking niggas, you might have to snake a nigga in the future. I couldn't do it to a friend, though. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it to a friend. But a stranger, I ain't gonna lie. You might have to snake a stranger in the future. I learned that from Jigga. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. If y'all be like, I'll never snake a friend. But if it's some stranger, I learned that from Jigga. What the fuck? He taught me this shit.
Past kneeling.
Only way you become a billionaire, you gotta snake at least 5 niggas. Facts.
Yeah, I think it's time to go into actionable items. I think everyone knows.
Yo, this one I knew that Jay-Z, bro, he either took the Illuminati oath or he became one with the whites. Nigga, if y'all anybody got a corporate job? Anybody got a corporate job? Keep in mind, Jay-Z was a nigga who told about losing 92 bricks. This nigga was a drug dealer. If you ever been in a lot of these, like, you know some of these corporate jobs, all they do is meet. Like, it's like 55 meetings. Like, when do y'all work? It's all meetings. And they be like, let's table that for next meeting. Jay-Z used one of the words that you hear in every corporate job when you keep doing meetings. Actionable items. Bruh, ain't no street nigga who's selling crack cocaine ever said to their fiend or said to the nigga they're reading up from, instead of talking about that, let's talk about the actionable items. That's when I really realized. I said, Jay, that nigga, man.
Yeah, I think it's time to go into actionable items. I think everyone.
Fuck. Nigga's good, man.
Knows what the issue is. And we're done with that. Everyone knows what you know what the issue is? You know why we were kneeling? Okay. Do you know the issue? Yeah. Do you know the issue? Yes? We all know the issue now. Okay, next. Where we moving on next? And I'm not, again, so to be clear for the room, I'm not minimizing that part of it because that has to happen. That's a necessary part of the process. But now we all know what's going on. What are we going to do?
Okay, so I really show y'all this to show you how Jay-Z snaked Colin Kaepernick to get in the position that he could pick whoever the NFL Super Bowl, and that's one of his biggest jobs, or like his team's biggest jobs with the NFL, according to partnership. By the way, we don't know how much money he got, but supposedly and allegedly, it was rumored that Jay-Z wanted to eventually down the line own an NFL team, and by him having this partnership that was helping the NFL so much, the little trinket was you control the minstrel show, which is the NFL halftime show, the Super Bowl show. You get some Negroes to just dance on stage. We'll let you pick the Negroes you want. However, that's not what Jay-Z. That's not the ultimate goal for him. They say the ultimate goal for Jay-Z is to own an NFL team. Now, keep in mind, the NFL out of all sports, I mean, you could probably say baseball to a certain extent, especially when you think about the Yankees maybe, but the NFL specifically has the biggest history of their owners being older white men that people would assume are rooted in fucking racism. You get what I'm saying? So for Jay-Z to break into that country club, it would take a lot, and it was like a promissory note. Hey, until a team clears up, or, because, if anybody sells a team, there's going to be a list of people trying to buy it. There's going to be groups, this and third. The NFL got to pick which group. Supposedly, the promissory note is, yo, Jay, we'll bump you to the top of that list with whoever you're going to buy it with, buy an NFL team with, if you keep the Negro population off our ass, because right now they're fucking up the money. And Jay said, oh, I'll do that. But remember, the first team that pops up, I want to buy that bitch. That was supposedly again, that was never announced, but also we never knew what money was involved in this for Jay. Okay? Anyway, this Colin Kaepernick speaks on Jay's. You see, Colin Kaepernick, the nigga just act like he couldn't talk. Like, he just never opened his fucking mouth. That was his biggest problem. So Jay-Z snaked him, and like, nigga, he was talking in sign language or some shit. Like that's the thing.
You go down with the Muhammad Ali's or whatever.
Oh yeah, we can't even find Colin Kaepernick's like response. We can't even find that shit. Okay. Anyway, now, so Jay-Z controls that, but now we gotta start investigating. Why would Jay-Z have certain agendas and access to grind? Now, we see on the stage. By the way, this is also another realm that we could get into. This Tidal thing, because allegedly Kanye left Tidal during the time that the artist had obligations or whatever. He would stop showing up and stop doing things with the Tidal situation. So Kanye, there is a big like Kanye drama with Jay-Z, but it's a bigger thing overall. But there's a big thing with Tidal. But this isn't a Kanye story, so we're gonna put Kanye to the left. So let's get Kanye out of here. J. Cole, if we're not talking about him playing basketball in Ghana or riding a bicycle or apologizing, we don't need to talk about him. So let's get him out of here. So now we got to figure out, why the fuck would Jay-Z not make the obvious choice of picking? Remember, this is a New Orleans Super Bowl. Again, we've seen the West Coast being represented. We've seen pretty much Aftermath. We've seen Rihanna, the pop side. We've seen R&B, Usher. Why not give it to the most successful black label? And let's be very fucking clear. The most successful black-owned label of all time that's ever been in hip-hop is Cash Money. You have an opportunity to give it to Wayne, who's known as one of the rappers who was supposedly trying to knock you out the spot of best rapper alive when y'all were competing. Why not give it to him and Birdman and really make a moment, especially seeing that this year is going to be in New Orleans? Now, we're going to have to analyze why Jay might have something against not only Lil Wayne, but also Birdman, because that's a whole thing. But subsequently, one of their proteges, which is Drake. And obviously, not picking Wayne, that makes it seem like you're taking a shot at Wayne. But picking Kendrick makes it seem like you're taking a shot specifically at Drake. So let's look at the relationship, at least at first, with Jay-Z, Drake, what went wrong. Let's get into this a little bit.
I used to want to be on Rockefeller, then I turned into Jay.
Sorry, Mr. Drizzy, for so much y'all talk. Silly me rapping about that I really bought.
Now, those were songs where Drake were dissing, Drake was dissing Jay was dissing Drake. Also, we're going to get to Charged Up. Hopefully this video covers it, that I don't got to keep jumping in.
I used to want to be on Rockefeller, then I turned into Jay.
Sorry, Mr. Drizzy, for so much y'all talk. Silly me rapping about that I really bought.
And that's around the time that your idols become your rivals. You make friends with Mike, but gotta AI him for your survival.
I had Benzes for you had braces.
My favorite rappers either lost or they ain't alive.
Y'all kill X, let Cinnamon live. Streets is done.
If you want to watch this video completely uncensored and uncut as being right there with Hove with the subliminal wars he's been involved in over the course of his career. How did these two actually end up in a subliminal battle? This beef has a couple of different reasonings behind it. The competitiveness of both Jay-Z and Drake is the common denominator to the beef, but something also was underlying. So let's take you back into the year of 2008. Drake was one of the most buzzing artists on the scene, dropping multiple mixtapes, which gained him a ton of buzz. Drake would eventually become the protege of the hottest rapper in the game at the time, Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne and Jay-Z actually had a past history of beefing prior to this, which I covered in my video, Lil Wayne vs. Jay-Z, What Happened. I recommend you watch that video to get a better understanding of this beef because the two beefs are connected. By 2008, Jay-Z and Lil Wayne patched things up and seemed to be on good terms after some collaborations. After gaining a ton of buzz through mixtapes and on social media platform MySpace, Drake was discovered by James Prince Jr. Prince would introduce Lil Wayne to Drake, playing him some tracks which at first Weezy thought that Drake was garbage. Prince was persistent and kept playing Drake records to Wayne until eventually he wanted to speak to Drake. Prince put the two on the phone and a meeting was orchestrated. Quick side note, Drake had already established his own record label called October's Very Own, or OVO for short. In 2008, after their meeting, Lil Wayne invited Drake to join him on his The Carter 3 tour. While on tour, the two recorded multiple songs together. Eventually, Drake would sign to Young Money Entertainment and Cash Money under a joint venture. Drake would begin gaining a crazy amount of buzz, and after dropping his mixtape So Far Gone in February 2009, it was clear that Drake was next in line. During this time, Jay-Z was on one of his biggest runs commercially, gearing up for the third installment of the legendary Blueprint series. Jay-Z
was running on fumes, everybody knows. At that time, I think that nigga just came off of Kanye saved Jay-Z's career. Let's keep it a bean. Like, post 2010, Jay's washed. Let's keep it a bean. Post 2010, Jay's washed. Kanye does watch the throne with that nigga and basically makes that nigga, like, really relevant again. Like, come on, let's keep it a bean.
Being a highly competitive rapper was definitely putting Drake on his radar.
And Blueprint 3 was generally regarded as washed up raps. Let's keep it a bean.
During his major blow up, so the two would link up to do a track together called Off That, which was set to be the first single off of the Blueprint 3. This unfortunately did not end up happening due to the track leaking, which...
By the way, shout out to Fart God. Thank you for the $20. He said, because you shout out my cousin Tony M. Quickie in DR right now, vacation and watching you. Salute to you, man. Enjoy your vacation in DR, man. Use a condom.
Jay-Z would put the blame mostly on the producer of the track, Timbaland. On September 8th, 2009, Jay-Z dropped his album The Blueprint 3. The track Off That with Drake would appear on this album, marking their first ever official collaboration. Now, Drake didn't have an actual verse on the record, just performed in the chorus, which most fans would be disappointed with. Track 9, titled A Star Is Born, is Jay-Z chronicling all the artists he witnessed become stars in the rap game. On the second verse, he says that Drake is up next.
Drake's up next. See what he do with it.
A week later, on September 15th, 2009...
That was disrespectful. You on a song with J. Cole. Yo, J. Cole, you gotta slap the fuck out of Jay-Z one time. How you on a track with that nigga back then, that nigga gonna tell you that your counterpart is up next? You should be like, nigga, what the fuck? Why you ain't say I'm up next? What the hell?
Drake dropped the So Far Gone EP. On this was a track called Fear, and on the second verse, Drake says that he didn't cry when Pac died, but will probably cry when Hove does. Then goes on to say that Jay-Z taught him values. Drake has cited Jay-Z as one of his inspirations, and he widely considers Jay-Z to be the GOAT of hip-hop.
I never cried when Pac died, but I probably will when Hov does.
The next month, on October 31st, 2009, Jay-Z was at Much Music in Toronto, and when asked about Drake, he gave him some advice.
Okay, so Drake, amazing. I know that you're a fan, I know you've worked with him, and he speaks really highly of you. So, I mean, he is already at that point where he could blow up into craziness. So what do you wish that somebody would have told you at that point?
I just, he just needs to focus. I mean, he's proved that he's very talented, with that mixtape, which was phenomenal. He proves she likes it. He proved that he's very talented, so he just has to maintain that focus because right now all the eyes are on him and not lose that. And if he stay, I think he's gonna be fine. If he stays focused, he'll be fine.
Good things? Okay, yeah. Next one more photo.
That same night, Drake and Jay-Z took to stage performing Drake's song Successful from So Far Gone. In December 2009, Drake did an interview with Wrap Up TV where he would reveal that he and Jay-Z did a song for his debut album called Light Up. The next year, on March 5th, 2010, Drake, along with Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj, would take the stage at Jay-Z's Blueprint 3 concert at Madison Square Garden when Jeezy would bring all three of them out. On June 15th, 2010, Drake dropped his debut studio album Thank Me Later, which would debut at number 1, selling over 470,000 copies in the first week, making Drake the hottest up-and-coming rapper in the world. Track 10, titled Light Up, features Jay-Z, and on his verse, he would warn Drake about what's going to happen to him when he's at the top of the game.
He wasn't warning Drake, he was hating.
Saying that they're going to start beef with him to try and take his spot.
Drake, here's how they gonna come at you. With silly rap views trying to distract you.
These lyrics aged extremely well, given that Jay-Z seemingly predicted what would happen to Drake later on in his career. Drake would speak on this collab in an interview with MTV News a week later.
The joint with you and Jay-Z on the album, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I know you and Jay are cool, but it still has to be a little competitive when you go and lay in your verse and him going his...
Who just sent a donation in? Is somebody just sent a donation? Wait. Oh, here we go. Zero says, Ak, why you getting at Jay and talking down on him all of a sudden? Everything I've said about Jay-Z today, I've always said about Jay-Z. I've always thought he was a capitalist. I always thought that he traded cultural equity. Me and Charlamagne used to be on the phone arguing about this. I've never said nothing different. I still think he's one of the greatest artists. I do look up to him for his capitalistic things. I just think that there is somewhat of a hypocrisy in how he moves, because it's one thing being a businessman. Jeff Bezos is just a businessman. Jeff Bezos doesn't say, hey, let's talk about my race, my plight to get you to support me, then I'm going to cash out. That's my only thing with Jay-Z. I think the nigga's a finesser. I just call the finesses out. I still like him. Like I fuck with Jay. Like don't make none of this make it seem like I don't fuck with Jay. Now, granted, do I believe that Jay has always played a different game? Yes. I think Jay played a different game with Nas. I think he's playing a different game with Drake and with Wayne. You remember there's a time that Birdman was talking shit to Jay about who had more money. And I just remember, like, Jay's always moved so shrewd on some, there's no way these fucking niggas think that they're more lit than me. And I think everything we're seeing now, this is him he had access to grind. It is what it is. If you don't benefit Jay, bro, think about it from state property to Rockefeller to Dame Dash to Kanye. Nigga, I gave you 20 examples. I'm still not saying he's a bad person. The nigga's a capitalist. There's nothing wrong with it. If you don't watch me enough, if you've never heard any of these criticisms about Jay-Z. Now, I personally believe that, And we will get to the, okay, should Kendrick have just gotten it off merit because he's hot right now? We'll get to that. But I'm showing you the case of, yo, Jay does this because he wanted to kill two birds with one stone. We're going to get to the part of maybe Kendrick just deserved it. We're going to get to that too. So I'm going to be fair. Don't worry about it. But I'm showing you the guy who made the decision that we're all talking about today, how his relationship with these other guys have been very interesting. By the way, who just sent in $100? Oh, goddamn. Thank you, my brother. Lord Hybrid says, yo, if y'all don't like what Jay-Z's doing, then y'all put yourself in position to call the shots like Jay did. Jay got in the room with Roger Goodell, not Birdman. And all who bumped heads with Jay crying now. Brooklyn reigns supreme. Jay is boss. Kiss the ring. Yo, Lord Hybrid, I'm gonna agree with you too. Now, we could acknowledge and call it out, but I don't have a problem with, yo, if I'm Jay-Z, yo, my nigga, play this. If I had like the biggest concert, nigga, you know who I'm not, nigga, if they gave me, right? Now, actually, I probably would do it. Like, if they gave me the biggest concert in Philly, I ain't gonna lie, I probably still would put Meek on it. Like, it would not make sense to. All right, let me try to get a better example. Like, bro, y'all know I'm a nigga who like, bro, when I don't like somebody, I don't like somebody, bro. And I'm biased with people who I don't like. Yeah, I have no problem with Jay-Z getting to the place where he's at, and he's been on some fuck Drake shit. Like, nigga, I'm not mad at a nigga being a hater. Like, nigga, if it was a podcast Olympic, I don't even know if Ruri's still alive, but like, nigga, I'm not putting Ruri on it. I'm sorry. Fuck that nigga. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not mad at Jay. I just like to crystallize and make sure people contextualize what exactly is going on.
Because I know you trying to eat him up. You trying to eat you up.
Yeah.
Now,
pause. Yo, DJ Envy. Whoa, pause. By the way, thank you for that donation, though. I appreciate the $100.
when you listen to his verse, you be like, woo, he's going in, or same thing with Jeezy's verse or Wayne's verse?
Yeah, usually when it's your album, you got to do your verse first. It's kind of like rare that someone will send you a song and be like, get on my album.
Did you ever want to do your verse over and be like, you know what?
You know what? Actually, my verse was way harder on Light Up before. And a song that I had used some, like I had done a song and then the song was never supposed to, like nothing was supposed to happen with it and it leaked. And then like the bars from that song were just so hard. It was a song with Big Sean, and those bars, like there were some bars on that song that fit so much better on Light Up. It made so much more sense. And like the last night before mastering, I had to go in and switch the first like 12 bars. So on Light Up, I lost my footing a bit. Jay came and killed me on that. Jay killed me. That's what I think anyway. Jay killed me on that. Like
he was upset. He was upset on that record. Somebody pissed him off that day.
But it was just the conversations me and Jay have. He's so like intrigued by where my life is at because it's almost like he's seeing it happen again for somebody else. So he was.
Now I know this is early on, but my theory is all of this is Drake paying. Jay paying Drake back for the moment where it's the moment of Tidal. We're going to get to that. Like, it's around here somewhere. But that's what, like, I think this was just always like competition. MC competition. But I think something happened during that time where I think Jay looked at Drake and said, oh, you think you too big. Like, you think you really me, but you're not as smart as me. And they'll never love you in this culture more than me. And I think that was always an axe or a thing that Jay-Z was going to prove to Drake. And I think he eventually did, including now.
It's like, I'm just going to tell you all I've learned. Right. And it was like a beautiful moment. I've really never heard Jay get that personal in a long time.
On the track called Thank Me Now, from that very same album, it's speculated that Drake threw some shots at Jay-Z. On the first verse, Drake says that eventually your idols become your rivals, then saying that you make friends with Mike, meaning Michael Jordan, but have to AI him for your survival. Drake is referring to when a rookie Allen Iverson crossed up his idol, Michael Jordan. Drake is referring to Jay-Z, who frequently refers to himself as the Jordan of rap, saying that he's going to have to be like AI and cross him up to stay on top, with both having that competitive mindset.
And that's around the time that your idols become your rivals. You make friends with Mike, but gotta AI him for your survival.
Later that summer, Drake would bring out Jay-Z at the 2010 OVO Fest in Toronto to perform Run This Town. That same summer, Drake would do an interview with Tim Westwood to announce that he and Lil Wayne were planning on dropping a collab album together. At this time, it wasn't really a big trend to do collab albums. It was more of a special occasion to see, but it would later become a huge thing in rap. In September of that year, Drake and Jay-Z would perform their track Light Up at the Yankee Stadium for the Home and Home tour. Later that year, Jay-Z and Kanye West would announce that they are working on a collab album together called Watch the Throne, with the Throne being Jay and Ye's name as a collective. In January of 2011, Drake would claim that they both stole that idea from himself and Lil Wayne after hearing his Tim Westwood interview.
I mean, you know that we still gotta do that album.
Yes, you still got to do that
Some
album.
other guys are coming out with the album too. There's two other guys that are coming out together. Two other rappers that are.
Oh, shit! I forgot this. This is why I like watching these, because I be forgetting those little small pieces in the interview. Oh damn, Drake definitely thought that Jay was like jacking, trying to jack. Like he probably thought, oh, I'm a threat. These niggas trying to do a collab album because I announced one with Wayne, and now they're calling themselves the Throne, like they're the guys.
Do that album.
Yes, you still got to do that
Some
album.
other guys are coming out with the album too. There's two other guys that are coming out together. Two other rappers that are coming out with an album.
This one Drake looked Jewish. Drake look like a nigga now. Like Drake look hella niggish now. Like this one Drake looked like still Jewish back then.
Together. I don't know where they got that idea, but.
That same month, on January 11th, 2011, the first single from Watch the Throne dropped called Ham, where Jay-Z infamously dissed Birdman for his comments claiming that Lil Wayne has more money than him. If you want to know exactly what happened behind that, I highly recommend you watch my Lil Wayne versus Jay-Z video to get a better understanding. It would be after this that Drake and Jay-Z's friendship would fall apart, because Drake would directly inherit this beef from Lil Wayne. Plus, at the same time, Drake and Kanye West were starting to have their own differences, so it was just a disdain and a competition on both sides of the camp.
My son Aiden called me. Hold on, let me see. Say he's playing 5M. My son didn't call me, did he? I'll call my son. Why y'all want me to call Aiden? I'll call my son.
Yo!
My son.
So basically, Jay-Z's been the big bad werewolf of the rap game for a little minute now. You feel me? I'm not gonna completely compare him to Diddy because I feel like that would be a diss. But like, when you thought of Diddy, you thought of Jay-Z. When you thought of Jay-Z, you thought of Diddy. And Jay-Z, he's a billionaire. He's like the richest rapper of all time. Like someone who started from a rapper to whatever he is right now. And it really should have been Kanye, but hey, Kanye's mind is not in the right place. So yeah. But man, Jay-Z, he's running everything. He's running the who performed at the Super Bowl for the NFL. And man, if my honest opinion is, I feel like Kendrick Lamar, he's not a bad person to headline it, but you definitely should include like Wayne in there. And you feel me? That's so disrespectful, every time it's in someone else's city, you're bringing out like the greats for that city, man. But, bro, hopefully Wayne gets some love. I mean, if it gets big enough, he probably will be forced. His hand will be forced. You know, the Super Bowl's months and months and months away. So, yeah, Wayne probably will be added. You know, Kendrick, one of the biggest, and you know, Lil Birdman's probably rubbing his hands, hoping that Lil Wayne goes in there, because Lil Wayne goes in there. You know, anyone who goes in the Super Bowl, all their streams go up, so he's getting paid from it. But yeah, bro, Jay-Z's really running everything. Let me know how you guys feel about everything. It's your boy Big Act News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I am out.